gonna stand there and do that? Nobody. That's the problem with Little Man Wing Chun, is that we believed that here's this person, that's the taller person. No, here's this person, that's the taller person in reality.
You know, aside from the video, actually, I was thinking about this on the way here, is, because you and I did this when you came to the gym, that one night that we were hung out over there for several hours, was Wing Chun dealing with long legs kicks. You know what I mean? Because I'm clever with my low line stuff. You've seen this.
You throw a feint out with your hand and throw a kick afterwards, or vice versa, that's the problem with distance. The only way to do that is to be willing to take a shot. That flying knee you have coming in, you're not going to be able to step off line and deal with it. You're not going to be able to stand there and absorb it. The only way, in my opinion, is to be able to kind of meet force on force. But then it takes a certain type of person to be able to do that. You can't be a pussy. You got to be like, all right, this is going to fucking hurt. Yeah. That's my ultimate Wing Chun closing the gap technique is, oh, it's going to fucking hurt. That's it. That's how you wind up getting that in there. All right, YouTube, we are back, and today we're going to be going over the bullshit Wing Chun for smaller men dealing with larger men. I got Nick Faruqi from Ballistic Fighting Methods in with me today. Check out his YouTube channel. We'll put the link at the bottom of the page. One of the things that really grieves you when we talk about Wing Chun is you're talking about how it's designed for a smaller person to overcome a larger person. That may have been true back in China, 200-300 years ago, where you had a little person who's this tall and a bigger person who's this tall. Well, here in America, Nick's about the average size guy. He's a big guy. And you got a guy like me at 5'7". You look at his jab reach, right? I'm not going to play a game with a powerhouse of a man who's skilled, he can pick off whatever he wants. When we talk about Wing Chun with the hand techniques, Nick punches, kind of talks out, punches, kind of flonks out, punches, all these movements. Nick can do that because he's got the distance that's going to equal his mobility. Smaller people don't. So the three things you have to remember when you are dealing with a larger person, the three things that are going to be imperative are going to be combat versus playing. Are you dancing around and throwing punches out there, moving and doing this stuff? Or are you getting in there and you're going to fuck up his world, okay? That's what our school mentality is. Number two, structures. Once you got in there, are you maintaining your structure? If we have a distance like this, and I'm going to take a step in and punch, and Nick gets offline, did I overcommit? Can I sit there? I'm not in a position to fire a punch again. All right? I have to be able to come in, Nick steps off, I got to be able to keep my structure to deliver that punch right away. Okay? That's going to be imperative. So are you playing around, or are you in for combat? Your structures, and then your techniques versus tactics. All right? Nick throws a punch, and you're thinking techniques. My techniques are here. Okay, punch again, I'm gonna throw another technique out. By the time I'm thinking of dealing with techniques, done. It's all about your tactics. So if I play my game and Nick plays his game, if I play Nick's game, all right, and then I want to stop Nick's attack, and you can overwhelm me if you need to. I'm gonna keep distance with Nick. How am I keep a big guy like this off of me? It's not gonna happen. All right. The way our school mentality is, take the hit. You gotta take the hit. We don't do pussy Wing Chun in this school. So if Nick's gonna square up, I gotta get in. I'm willing to take a hit. If Nick's gonna pop me there, I'd rather take a hit there than all the way out here. Okay, you saw me on the boxer video with Martin and Kevin. They're out there and everything I'm doing, I've gotta come in. Your tactics will come alive once you come in. If I'm all the way out here and he punches and I stop here, I successfully stopped nothing. Didn't disturb his balance. He's got movement again immediately from that spot. And he's gonna beat you with time. Because not only is he, I have to put my body weight behind every punch. If I put my hand out there, Nick owns me. Hand, he owns my hands. Nick's a bigger guy. If I want to stop his hand, it's not going to stop anything on him. I have to stop this. This controls those. So the three things, like I said before, you got to consider playing versus combat. So I'm not going to play with Nick all the way out here. That's that bullshit Wing Chun. Dude, you're done. You are done with a guy his size. He's got speed, he's got tactics, he's got techniques. So you have to embrace that hit too. All right? So he's going to throw that punch out. Boom, I got to come in. I got to put him on the defense just for a slight second. And if you see, take a step back, please. I have structure. Okay, Nick comes back in, we're in the spot again. If he moves on me, move any way you want, I'm here. I have that structure. If I overcommit in any way, if I want to keep myself safe and play the game, I don't have that balance and structure. I'm playing his game, his world. So you're staying in your structure. Come in, I gotta get him off balance a little bit. He has to give me pressure, I'm gonna change the angle. I'm staying in tight. Don't be a pussy. Take the hit if you're going to get in. That's how fighting is. Nick will tell you firsthand, as big as he is, I'm sure you're taking a hit or two in the fight.
One or two.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So, real briefly on this video, the three things you have to remember when you are dealing with combat, what's your intent? You're going to play a game with this kind of guy? Oh, you're here. Okay, let's spar with it. I'm behind the movement. Look at his time. Let's take it slow down. You clear your hand, but I'm not going to get my movement out, but you can't. If you direct it right in my eyes, you guys don't have movement. You don't. But if I change the mentality a little bit and I offer him something to pop, can I come in? Okay, it gave me a little bit more of an advantage. Okay, do you feel better or worse on this?
I feel worse on this.
Okay, he totally owned it the first time. But if you look back, you take a step back. If you look, my elbow is on line with my second weapon here. My structure's good. I'm still on line. But if we do this way, and I'm waiting for him to come in, because we got to wait in Wing Chun. Take a step back, please. Dude, you guys see my spine? I wanted to avoid that hit by leaning my head back. Take me back to where, like, own me after you get that. So you're here, I'm waiting for. You don't stand a chance, guys. Your Wing Chun wants to wait for somebody like him. It's not going to work. All right, so are you playing a game? Are you fighting? Are you keeping your structure? And lastly, tactics versus techniques. He's going to throw a punch. I'm going to block him. Throw a punch, I'm going to go. I'm going to punch. I don't fucking know what I'm going to do. Throws a punch. Get in. Get in. Your movements will appear based on the energy he shows. You want to just get in, keep your structure, keep your tactics, not your techniques. From a taller man dealing with a little man, what's your perspective?
I feel like the shorter person always has to get in. And me being a JKD guy, not a Wing Chun guy, okay, so I don't really speak too much on Wing Chun as it is.
You got speed, you got distance game.
Well, yeah, but you know, like, so in the JKD world, we deal with the weapon side of it, especially with the Kali stuff.
Right.
If I took an edge weapon and went against the Kali stick, in order for me to make my weapon effective, I have to get in. I have to get in its range. It's the same thing. I got longer arms than Dominick does. For him to be effective, he needs to get past my range and get into his. If he stays the outside and plays the outside game, I'm gonna own his ass every day because I got reach, I got legs, I got hands, and he's always at the end of my punch. So whatever you do,
you have more time to reset.
Oh, absolutely. I can back out. There's so many things I can do. For you to be effective, you have to get in and tangle me up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or else it's just you're screwed if you don't.
Absolutely. So, from a bigger guy point of view, how would you teach a smaller person on that? Have you ever run into difficulty being able to translate that?
Yeah. The way I teach it is, honestly, I don't flat out just come out from day one and say you got to take a hit because it totally turns people off. That's the truth of it, though, and honestly is. but it does turn people off. So what I tell them to do is to get on the inside. As soon as they start picturing, I gotta get the inside, get on the inside, I tell them their ear has to be past that person's wrist. Make sense? So whatever they
I don't like you that close. Yeah.
So when I tell them that, they start getting this visual of how do I get inside? Whether they're taking a hit or whether they're catching, patting, parrying, trapping, whatever they do to get past it, they understand that they have to enter into this particular range where they're now effective. Okay? And honestly, I'll tell you this, the closer you get on somebody, especially bigger guys, because we are so comfortable using long arms, long legs, as soon as somebody comes in, most people kind of crumble because it's out of their comfort zone. So they, shit, go back out to the point where I can hit you, but you can't hit me. And it reminds me of those little cartoons, if you got a little sibling or that kind of thing.
Hand on the forehead.
Hand on the forehead, they're swinging like crazy.
And if you look at that, this is Wing Chun. Wing Chun wants to deal with this. And if I clear this off, guess what? He's got another hand. He's going to go right up. We do this all day long. This is what the Wing Chun people do. Oh, look, my Wing Chun is so good.
This is a drill in Wing Chun.
All fucking day. So he clears that off. You better get in.
Get in. And you see what I said? I said ear past the wrist. And Dominick got ear past the wrist. And now he's able to hit. Okay? So if I'm 6'1" and some change, Martin, our friend Martin,
6'6",
makes me look like a dwarf. Okay, I mean he stands like this on me. I can't play the long range game with him. I have to get in and tangle him up, and that's where the pressure comes on. And you're right, the structure has to be there, or else you're going to crumble. You know, the tactics have to be there, or you're going to crumble.
Yeah.
You know, but the first thing that you got to understand is the distance has to change. If you have to be effective in your place, you're not effective on the outside.
No,
the guy who's got longer reach. Period.
And that's the whole misconception about Wing Chun being an inside fighting game. It's what Wing Chun schools do not talk about or showcase is getting to the inside, because nobody wants to talk about the reality of the fact you're gonna have to eat a punch or two to get there.
Well, you don't jump in the pool if you don't want to get wet.
No, and don't fight. Don't play some pussy, patty cake bullshit with your stance like this and think that a guy this size who's got a jab, any boxer out there is going to eat you up because you don't know how to deal with it. Because as that shit's coming out, you're chasing it. It's gone. Look at that, he's ready to go. You want to deal with it out here? Oh my god. Oh my fuck. So that's what we're talking about in this video. Close that gap, get in, be willing to take that punch. Get in, take that punch, keep your structure. If you overcommit, he owns you. You undercommit, he owns you. You have to keep that structure, chin down, head up, hands up. This is not your Wing Chun guard. We don't do this. Your Wing Chun's got a guard. It's got to be more like a boxing guard. Understand? You're getting in. Just getting in. Once you're in, that's where all your energy comes into play, where you'll feel everything. And hopefully you get him this crowd up a little bit. You have the edge this much. But once he resets, you better move with him. All right. So we want to talk about in this video a little bit. See you in the next one.
Be sure to go to becomewar.com and click on the war chest. There you'll find access to our website, podcast, merchandise, and public Facebook group. And with the purchase of every program of Become War, you get exclusive access to our community Facebook group and what you need for that iron sharpening iron. Click on becomewar.com today and become war.